Hey guys, Sean here. So you have a pile of money to invest in precious metals and you can't decide between gold and silver. I would say go for both, but it's important you start on the right foot and make the best decision for yourself. Now, precious metals are a great way to hedge against inflation and protect your purchasing power. It's been proven for thousands of years, but recent world events are making gold and silver more than just simple stores of value. They are becoming more distinctive from each other. They have their own stories, and the reasons to hold each are becoming rather different. And in this video, we are going to dive deep into the pros and cons of gold and silver. It's not as simple as just buying gold because it looks prettier or choosing silver because you can just stack more ounces. So strap yourselves in and let's get started. We all know that the dollar is getting weaker every year, and buying precious metals is a great way to store value. Personally, I'm more of a gold person today, but I started out in silver. My first ever silver coin was an American Silver Eagle, a very beautiful coin, and if you're working on a budget, silver is a great way to start. Now, gold is getting really expensive. The first gold coin I bought was around $1,200, and today it's almost 2 grand. Silver, on the other hand, is still highly affordable. 1 ounce will only set you back around $30 with the physical premium included. And because of this, silver is a great starting point if you're new to precious metals and you don't have much cash. With just $600, you can get around 20 silver coins. But even if you triple that amount, you won't be able to get a single ounce of gold. And that is quite important, especially when it comes to building that motivation to stack. Silver really helps you start your precious metals journey, and I think that's the most important step, because once you have skin in the game, once your money is invested and you are physically holding the metal, you will start learning more about investing, how the financial system is really engineered, and the way you see the world will change. But it all starts with a single ounce, and silver is a great way to start. Now, gold is around 80 times more expensive than silver, and that means it stores more value as well. If you take a look at the gold and silver ratio, it will show you how much gold is worth relative to silver. It will fluctuate over time, and the higher the number means gold is becoming more valuable. You can use this to track which metals more undervalued or overvalued as well. Now, back in March 2020, we can see the ratio hit at around 120:1, which means silver is actually the better buy, the cheaper buy at that point of time. So keep this in mind. Now, because a single ounce of gold holds the same value as 80 ounces of silver, it's a clear advantage when it comes to storage and transportation. If you're storing silver at home, it can get really bulky, and if you store it in a vault, you will have to pay more storage fees as well. Now, many stackers forget that one day they might need to move around quickly with their metals. Now, things are really getting chaotic, and we have to prepare for as hits the fan scenario. This is where gold wins hands down, right? It is portable wealth that you can just pick up and go. A 1 kg silver bar here costs less than $1,000, while a gold kilo bar holds almost $70,000 worth of value. It's really easy to move gold around, and if there's a situation where society breaks down and I need to flee, I'd rather be holding more gold. When it comes to gold versus silver, a lot of stackers love to debate that silver is considered money just like gold. And I tend to share that sentiment. Both gold and silver have been used as money for thousands of years, tracing back to even before ancient Rome. However, we need to view how the world's biggest precious metal stackers, these central banks, see gold and silver. Central banks primarily stockpile gold and not silver, and this is a very important difference to remember. And that's because central banks are the biggest single buyers of gold, and when there's a crisis such as a currency crisis where countries are selling off the US dollar, the precious metal of choice will be gold. And this is increasingly more likely today as the sanctions against Russia, which has frozen most of their US dollars, are making many central banks rethink about holding too much foreign exchange reserves. And if they're going to diversify into a neutral asset, it will be gold instead of silver. So if you're holding gold, you will benefit from this shift towards holding real money that doesn't devalue, which I believe is inevitable. But that doesn't mean to forget about silver. Silver is considered more of an industrial metal today, and this means there's great potential for price growth in the future. Now, gold is great, it is also less volatile, But if I were to bet which metal can gain the most, it will have to be silver. And it's because of 2 points. Firstly, silver is an industrial metal. Almost 70% is used in industries to manufacture everything from solar panels to electronics. And the biggest boom for silver lies in a greener future. We are moving towards renewable energy, and this will only accelerate as a consequence of the war in Europe. Countries are realizing that they have to be self-reliant when it comes to energy, and I foresee a big push towards alternative sources, especially solar power. And that means silver will benefit from this big time. We are already seeing signs of this shift accelerating with all the green advocates around and carbon tax going on. Whether we like it or not, the future is likely going to be solar. Plus, when it comes to price, silver is still far away from its all-time highs of $50 back in 2011. Now, while gold recently made all new time highs, smashing above 2050 as a result of the Russia-Ukraine invasion, silver at $26 today is still very cheap and undervalued in my opinion. So if big gains are what you're after and you don't mind additional risk and volatility, then silver might be the choice for you. But if you do choose silver, you will need holding power. You might need to hold on to silver for years, if not decades, to really see it shine. When people choose silver, the two main reasons are either because of the Green Revolution or because silver is relatively undervalued compared to gold. Now that might be true, but no one will know when solar power will really boom or when the ratio could close, making gold and silver more evenly valued. And that means you might need to hold on to silver for a very long time before those explosive gains might happen. Gold, on the other hand, allows you to really plan ahead. Now, prices are more stable there, and gold is more of an inflation hedge compared to silver. So if you're looking for a more stable store of value that you can plan ahead, gold is the better choice. I know it might shock many of you listening, but not everything is about the biggest immediate gain. There is value in planning ahead and having an asset that's more predictable. With gold, you'll be able to plan ahead knowing its price is more stable and less volatile. That could mean one day selling off your gold to pay off your fixed rate mortgage, waiting for the S&P 500 to gold ratio to narrow so that you can buy stocks when they are undervalued, or maybe liquidate your gold for cash to put into a business where the returns can truly be exponential. Silver in this case is a real wild card, and there's some element of correctly timing the market which is impossible. It is highly likely that the time you need money might not be the best time to liquidate your silver for cash. And that is why you should ask yourself, can I stash aside this silver and not touch it for the next 10 or even 20 years? If you can't, gold might be the better option of the two. When we buy gold and silver, it is not just for gains, but actually insurance against a financial collapse and as hits the fan situation. Now, for many gold and silver stackers, we sleep well at night when there's an economic crisis because we know our wealth is protected. However, as things become more chaotic, especially in a currency collapse, we need to think of our own safety as well. And this is where silver actually holds the advantage compared to gold. Now, silver is great because you can use it to barter for the food and supplies you need, and because silver is much cheaper than gold, you won't draw much attention to yourself. Now, no one will really care if all you have are a couple of silver ounces in your pocket, but if you're holding a few gold coins, that is likely going to be a few months' salary or even a year's worth of supplies that you're walking around with. You're essentially a walking target. Now, there are many ways to handle this, but my plan is to prioritize using silver for my day-to-day expenses and only use gold for the big purchases, right? And that's why I believe you should own both. Silver for those small purchases and gold to buy assets when they go on sale. So if you're still in the prepping phase and you're more worried about immediate survival, silver is a good way to start. But once you have your silver stash built and you want to play for keeps, then stacking gold can really let you win during a crisis. With both, you'll survive and emerge in the new world richer. So we need to talk a little bit about premiums as well. Actually, we need to talk a lot. We know that silver premiums is much higher than gold. A 1 ounce silver coin's premium today, like the silver maple, can reach 25%, and that is very steep compared to any gold coin or bar, which is typically around just 3 or 4%. And that means if you power $1,000 into physical silver 1 ounce coins, you will be losing at least $200. Now even a 1 kg kilo bar here has a premium of 10%, but the premiums for silver might go up even higher compared to gold. Now people are waking up to how important precious metals are, and we are seeing records amount of people just piling into it, right? Over the last few years, a lot of people have been buying into gold, and just the US Mint alone has been seeing record sales. But I argue that as the price of gold gets higher, just simply because silver is more affordable, people on the street will start stacking silver more, right? This means we can see retail premiums actually fly higher and come to a crazy situation where it can jump to 30 or even 40%. Now we have seen that before in the past silver squeezes from Reddit, so it's nothing new. And the thing about precious metals is that you really need to look at the physical price and not just the spot price to understand the true value of what silver really is. So if you're still waiting on the sidelines, you might want to start accumulating silver before the premium skyrocket. I personally have built my physical silver position to over 1000 ounces over the last 7 years, so now I'm focusing on gold. But if I was starting from scratch, I would definitely prioritize stacking silver a bit more before the premiums become crazy ridiculous. And by the way guys, please avoid crazy coins like the American Silver Eagle. Premiums on this can hit 40%. Instead, the Britannias are a great choice. Their premiums are below 20% and they just look way cooler with all these new security features on the coins. You want to focus on accumulating more physical ounces. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you decide to go with gold or silver. What's important is that you have some money outside of the financial system. We are beginning to see people getting their money confiscated, countries' assets getting frozen, and unless you hold it, you really don't own it. Even I keep some physical cash with me just in case. You really never know when you need some at hand. And that's why I believe both gold and silver are equally valid during this time of chaos, and I continuously add both to my stack every month or quarter without fail. And you might prefer more gold, or maybe you're more of a silver person, and that is okay. You need to choose the metal that you're most comfortable with so that you can hold on to it for the long term without any regrets. Now, gold and silver are more than just stores of value. They are insurance against failing currencies, and if the world economy essentially defaults, it won't make you rich, but it will make sure that you don't gradually or suddenly lose your wealth. You know, I believe we are moving towards a new monetary order and time is slowly running out, right? But I don't want you to panic buy and lump sum invest everything you have into gold and silver. It's important to stay calm, settle your obligations and your other bills first, and then find ways to stash money into precious metals. That way you can hold it for the long term and reap the most benefits down the road. So let me know which you prefer more. Are you a gold kind of guy, or is silver the better choice to stack? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more gold and silver videos. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon.